to us, which we don't get to do a ton of, is really inspiring to us, because you can kind of get in the flow of just city to city, and you see a backstage, you play, and then you don't get to hear the personal stories. But one that touched me was a couple of years ago. We were in Louisville, Kentucky, and me and Jody had got to the show early, and an uncle of a leukemia patient called Steve, just got his phone number off the internet. Apparently you can find it on there, just go ahead and call him anytime. But he called Steve and he's like, yeah, my nephew's in the hospital down the street. He loves Newsboys. Would you guys want to come, visit him? And so, of course, how do you say no to that, right? So Jody and I went down to the hospital, and he was, about 8 years old? And he had lived his entire life in the hospital with leukemia, never been able to go out into the outside world. And so he was in shock, and his whole family was there, and we hung out with him for a bit. And he's in his bed, didn't look that great. But he said, oh, I want to do something for you guys for coming to visit me. And so he gets his iPad out, and he sings God's Not Dead to us from his bed. And we were, it was pretty, it was like that. And so sure enough, about almost 2 years later, we were playing a show back in that same area, and he actually came to the show. He was out of the hospital, doing great. So those kind of things, I know that, a lot of times you don't get to see people's personal experiences with your music, but man, that was like inspirational to us. And so, yeah, never forget that.